In this video, I'm going to go over After Effects basics. When you first open After Effects, you will probably see this window where you can open an existing project or start a new project. You go ahead and start a new project, which will bring me to my main After Effects window. And the first thing I'll want to do is make a new composition. And that is our main unit of composing on After Effects. And you can make many different types of compositions. But you always want to start with a main composition that is the size you need for the screen you're outputting to. So if you know you're going to output to an HD television, you can say 1920 by 1080. If you know you're going to go for UHD or 8K, whatever you're going for, you're going to put that in for your main composition. But you can have many compositions in the same video, and they can be nested so that one composition can be in another. But we need to start out with our main composition, so I'm going to call this main comp. Call it something so you know what it is. And then I usually start with a preset even if I'm going to change it. Whereas if I want UHD, 8K, 4K, whatever, I choose that. And I need to choose the resolution and the frame rate. So I'm going to choose this one. Standard HD, 1920 by 1080 pixels. Usually I'm going to want square pixels unless I'm already working with video footage where the pixels are not square. Frame rate, I'm going to want to keep consistent across any composition I make in the same After Effects project. So I'm going to stay with this 29.97. If you are in the States, you're going to want to stay with 29.97, 30, 60, because you want to avoid 50 and 25 because those are for other parts of the world. You then pick a duration. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with 30 seconds for this. Once that comes in, we have our asset area, and we will usually have multiple assets. Sometimes we'll have a few compositions. Maybe we'll bring in some images. Those will all be here. Then have our main timeline here, our main composition area where we can see what's going on here, and our effects. We then have tools up here that we can use to manipulate what's on our composition. So, or make our composition, we can use our rectangle tool to draw a rectangle, or a polygon tool to draw a polygon. And then we see it starting to fill in our composition. We have fills and strokes, and we see down here that we have something on our timeline. And what's really great about After Effects is almost everything is animatable. So we can go ahead and we can open all these carrots, and we can, anywhere we see a stopwatch, that's something that we can animate. So I can animate here. I click on that. That introduces a keyframe. And then I can move my scroll on my timeline and increase the number of points. In this case, to enough that it's basically a circle. And what happens is After Effects will interpolate from this keyframe to this keyframe. So as I play, right, it will add all of these keyframes until, add all of the kind of in-between motion until it reaches 100 points, which is basically, right, a circle. So that is the power of After Effects. We can also nest composition so that we can have one composition inside of another. We can have images. We can do a lot of different things, but that is the basics of starting and laying out for After Effects.